Samsung Galaxy S3, designed for humans.
We are going to go through how to use Microsoft Word to do referencing. There are so many tools that you can use. A very specialized one is EndNote, if you've heard of it, EndNote. But Microsoft Word, I think from 2003, 2007, 2010, all have automatic ways of referencing. Referencing here means that if you are writing any academic paper, be it a dissertation or a term paper, in these cycles you need to give reference to whoever you are taking material from. So if you are taking some material from, let's say, Dr. Watson's paper, you need to reference him, Watson, in the year 2011, to show that the idea you are adding to your document is not originally from you, it is from him, but you are basing an argument on it. So you can do this automatically in Word. If you have Fisher's book, it gives you types of referencing on page 6, chapter 6, page 323 to 327. It doesn't show you how to use Word to read, but the types of referencing that you'll be doing are all listed there. Why do you need to do referencing? One reason is to support an argument. Let's say you want to say that inflation has been steadily rising over the past 3 years. You want to use that to support an argument you're making that for the past 3 years, economic conditions haven't been very good. You need to cite, because you are not an authority. You may not have done any study to prove that. So you have to show where you are getting that from. It's also to provide evidence that what you are saying is the truth. You can also use reference to show a trend of arguments, especially within literature. If there is a field of, let's say, information systems, and some arguments have, if you read the MIS textbooks, the components of information systems have been changing for some time. So you can use citations or references to show all the changes that have happened within that body of literature over the period you want to demonstrate. You can also use to compare arguments. Maybe within two different textbooks about the same idea, two different textbooks are giving opposing views. If you take there's this textbook, IS for Managers. IS for Managers gives 4 different types of components of information systems. Lorden and Lorden also gives different components of information systems. So you can cite these 2 books to make your comparison. On a more serious note, you need to cite to avoid revocation. You may have heard of some top people, government officials, who have lost their certifications because they forgot or did not cite certain materials they use in their dissertation. And in that case, you can be stripped of your qualification. And finally, to avoid thieving or plagiarism. That's the most important. Yesterday, I put this in to show the other class that especially for those who who are writing their dissertation now, it is good that as you read, you write. As you read, you write. Else, you keep reading and you will not write anything at the end of the period you are supposed to submit your work. So you are allowed to copy and paste from original material into your work. But when you copy, because we don't want to face the risk of not citing and face the risk of plagiarism, it is good that as you copy and paste into your text, you differentiate the original text you are copying from someone you are citing in a different text color, so that your own ideas will also be in a different test color. It's a normal note-taking tip, you may know. But in Word, you can also use different font colors to differentiate your ideas from other authors' ideas. So that later on, when you paraphrase, you can put it back in black text and then you cite it. So I said that you should write as you read, and you have to cite as you write, so that you don't end up plagiarizing. So when you are citing, you have different styles. I'm sure you've come across that already. We have the APA style. The APA style is very common. Then the Harvard style is also common. You can see the various references styles in Microsoft Word in this folder. If you follow this path, you get to see all the styles available. So currently you have APA, Chicago, up to Raven. On your machines right now, you won't have Harvard style. So Doc is quite fond of Harvard, so I went to look for how to do Harvard, and I found that there's a file available that you can copy and add to this part, and it will give you Harvard style in your work. But yeah.
But that's Harvard style.
Yeah, I don't have it. Yeah.
Then I don't know.
Maybe because of your version. So, but even this one, it has some problem. It doesn't handle citing web material properly. So I still stick to APA. But that one, the APA in Word has everything there. So what are the types of publications you can cite? In academic circles, these are the most acceptable ones. Word allows you to do other things, but these are the most acceptable ones. Books, like Fisher's book or any textbook. Then book sections. Within a book, one textbook, you can have different authors for the different chapters. So you need to cite the chapter author before the book's author. Then the most common one we normally use is the journal papers or articles. You can look from JSTOR, Emerald, Science Direct. You can also have articles in periodicals, like could be a magazine, an industry report. You have conference proceedings. Conference proceedings are compilations of conference papers that are presented. Conference papers that are presented during international conferences. Every good conference will put all the presented papers into one book. And most often, conference papers are graded to journal papers. So if you don't, so you may have very good ideas and materials from a conference proceeding. And even some conference proceedings are available in some of the databases for you to cite them. So there are ways of citing them also. They have reports, like a World Bank report. Then you can also have material from websites that you can cite. So we'll go straight away into doing the referencing within Word. Fisher has the type 1 referencing, as if the author is not mentioned in the text. That's where you add the year of publication to the person's or the author's surname, as we have the Watson 2011. So we'll do that. So I have some articles here. Assuming we're citing. So this is an example of a conference proceeding. You see over here that this is the name of the conference host. And you see here, ECIS 2011 proceedings. It tells you there is a conference proceeding. European Conference on Information, that was the conference name. And this was a paper submitted over there. So this is from the conference proceeding. It's not a full journal required. Then you have this is an example of a full journal paper. Full journal paper. This one you will see you see the journal name, the page numbers, the volume number, and the issue number, and the year, and the page numbers. Everything will be there on the sheet. But it's not all the databases show the journal papers like this. This one is an emerald paper. You may have other ones like this one, for example, is from Elsevier. You see, it looks different, but all the elements you need to cite the paper are also there. You have the name of the journal, you have the title, the authors, and in this case, you have the year on top, then the page numbers. So this one you don't have PP as you had in the Emerald, but these are the page numbers, and then the volume. This one doesn't have issue number. Another one is, this one is from JSTOR. For JSTOR, most often you have all the, you even have a similar citation on the front page. So you have the title, the authors, and then the journal information. This one looks quite different. It doesn't have the initial page that the other ones have, but this is the name of the journal paper, EJISDC, the year, the volume, the issue, and then the page numbers. And this is the full name of the journal over here. Sometimes you have a journal paper that has, this one looks sometimes you have a journal paper that looks like it looks like it has been scanned like a picture. So this one you can copy the text. In such case you cannot copy the text, but still you should have the information there. This one, the journal name is MIS Quarterly, the year is 91. Then you see this one doesn't have the page numbers, the page range on it. So you have to look at the first page and the last page and get your range. So this one, the first page is 171. So you scroll to the end and get the last page, 188, before you can use it in your citation. So assuming we're citing, if we're citing this paper, I'm sure you've done some work on this already. It was in the summary also. So you need to open work. Then maybe you want to make an argument that the benefits of using the mobile phone has been studied in recent studies. So you want to show that a recent study about the benefits of mobile phone. And that is, you want to draw it from this paper, mobile phones and micro trading activities. So what you do is that instead of typing traditionally over here, what's in 2011, you can do this alright. Yesterday someone was arguing with me. You can do this alright, but after you've done this, you need to get the full referencing somewhere so that you produce it in your reference list. You have to do that. If you don't do it, you have no excuse of oversight. You have cited it here, you don't have it in the reference list. So how do you support that argument? Is it that you forgot? It doesn't hold. So if you type it here, you get it somewhere. Some people use Notepad. They put a full thing over there so that later on they copy and paste at the end. But you can also use Word to do that automatically. So instead of typing here, you come to references at the top here. So references over here, under citations and bibliography. Make sure you have your desired style chosen already. So the default one is AP. So then you come to insert citation, then add new source. The source here shows the publication you want to reference, but there are types of sources: books, book session, journal article, and so on. What we are citing right now is a journal article. So we choose journal article. Then the author is, if you look down here, you can type the author name over there automatically, but I prefer to use the edit, so I'll enter them one by one. Sometimes there are more than one authors, so you don't want to make mistake in the semicolon and the commas and so on. So yeah, I enter them one by one. So what's in when you press enter, it activates the add. So if there are more authors, you keep adding them. You click add. When you are done, you just press enter. So all the authors will be listed here. In this case, just one. Then the title of the paper. The general name is info. The year is 2011. The pages are 48 to 61. To 62. But you see that this box shows you only a few of the fields you need to enter. We are left with the volume number and the issue number. So you need to click on show all bibliography fields. Then you have all of them. So the volume is 13, issue 5. Volume 13, issue 5. When you press the enter key, the citation is done for you over there. Anytime within the text, your work that you need to cite what's in 2011 again, you just go to insert citation. You have all the list of sources you have added already, and then you just click and it's added for you where the cursor is blinking. One challenge is that if you wanted to do I'll come back to this one. If you wanted to do this, many have argued that what's in 2011 does not cover the benefits other mobile phone users gain from its use. You see, in this case, Boatin is not part of the 2011. Word doesn't allow you to bring the Boatin out and have only the year inside. So that made me go to try EndNote. EndNote is the same thing. But I found that if I have if I wanted to do this, if I wanted to cite what's in 2011, if I wanted to cite what's in 2011 over here, because when it won't allow me to bring the what's in out, I could still agree that. So I want to put the what's in 2011 here. I could still put the citation there, but this is wrong. You need to bring the body out. So I can copy the name over there, then click on, when you click on the citation, it gives you an arrow here for more options. You go to edit citation. Under edit citation, you can choose to hide some of the citation parts. So over here, I hide the author and the title. If you don't hide the title will be displayed again when you go back. So you hide the author and the title, and you leave only the year. Then you can add, you can paste the what's in the outside. But you still have the citation there when you go and do your list. So it will still be there. The other challenge in using Word is that if Boatin wrote the paper with other authors, like this paper, the same Boatin wrote the paper with two other people. So you have to say Boatin et al. You can't say Boatin this and this. It's not proper because there are more than two authors. So in this case, it has to be et al. Like Word doesn't allow you to do that either. So I also found that if you, assuming if there were more than 3 authors, Word will list all of them inside the box. Boatin, Drew, Okine, for you to list all, or if there were 10 authors, all of them will be in the bracket. So you can still do what I did for this one. You copy the first author. You copy the first author. You come out and then you put the title there. You put the title there like this outside the box. But what if you need to put it inside, like this one, like in this case? Because you cannot edit whatever is inside over here. You cannot edit it. So let me use, if you go back to our new source. So these are the three authors. So you see, there are three authors and all have been listed at the same time. Sometimes, I don't know what happens, but even though the title of the paper is not supposed to appear, sometimes it happens. But when it does, you can suppress the title and you have only the authors and the year. But this is not supposed to be, because there are more than 2 authors. So in this case, when you click on the arrow, you convert the text to static text. When you do so, the Word will then allow you to edit whatever is inside. So you can now add your then you take the other 2 authors off. Then you have the 2012. And still it will be part of your sources. So when you generate your reference list, it will still be there. So if we've done for 1 author, then 3 authors by inside. But if the paper you are citing has two authors, you go back to research citation, add new source. So you have it. If there are two authors, you just add the 2 authors and then you have it. Open and edit 22. Word doesn't allow you to use AND as the end, so you may have to stick to the ampersand sign. Then, if you wanted to bring the Edu and Oku out, like we did for Watson and Brown, you can do same. You copy the authors, you edit citation, you suppress the author and the title. You have the year out, and then you paste the thing, and then you have it there. If you make a mistake in sometimes it happens when you are typing, you may press the enter key and it accepts the entry. So you may make a mistake in the year, in the title, anything. You can still go back and make a change. You just right click on the citation you want to change. You click on that option arrow, and you choose edit source instead of the edit citation. Edit source. Edit source will take you back to the box where you entered your information. Then you can make any changes. Assuming this was 2010. If you click OK, it will ask you whether you want to update the list you entered. Choose yes, and it's updated for you. Everywhere in the document that you have used that citation is updated. Yes. So we've done these two, and I mentioned that if there are more than 2 authors, it should not be all of this, it should be a 12. We have done that. Then, if the same author has more than 2 publications in the same year, you need to differentiate between them using the letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, and so on. Word doesn't allow you to do that. But you can do your own trick. When you are adding the source, in the beginning, you add the A or the letter you want to add to differentiate to the year over there within the text. So that when you go to OK, the letter will be added for you automatically. So for as long as you keep adding the letters, it will be added to the year over there, and this is what we want. You understand? Okay, so we've done for, it's the same, what we've done is for books, is for journal articles, book chapters. We've not done book chapters. But let's do for websites. If you had a website like this that you wanted to reference, let's say there's an article here you want to reference. So there's a, you've gone to ITU website, you want to cite a report. So mobile technologies and writing service. So while it is loading, if you wanted to cite a website, you go to bibliography, insert citation, add new source. In this case, you choose website. Choose website. When you choose website, you see you have different fields. You have the author. Sometimes on a website, the article will have an individual author or several authors. You need to cite, you need to write their names there. Opoku, John, Edu, Isaac. You need to write their names as we did for journal articles. But sometimes for ITU is a group. So the reports over there may not have individual authors. So you need to cite, you need to choose that it is a corporate author. Choose a corporate author. Then you type the name of the institution there. ITU. It could be Forbes, it could be Wall Street Journal. You type it there as corporate author, but there's no individual author there. You go to the next field. The name of the web page. Sometimes you won't see it over there. There will be nothing to show you. But I have seen that if you go to your title bar of the browser, you would have the name of the page there. This, you know that it's ITU website. But whatever is on the page right now is the core ICT indicators. And that's the page it's on. So when you come to Word, you see that down here, it gives you an example of what should be in this page, in this field. So yeah, example is about us, A Datum Corporation. So over here you can type core ICT indicators. Then your column appears ITU website. Then the name of the website, if you look at the example, is A Datum Corporation website. So you type the ITU website. The year should be the year of the publication over there, not the year of the website, because almost every good website is updated to the current year. So it's not very neat. But the report there is for 2010. You can see it's for 2010. So the year is 2010. Sometimes you have the month and the day also listed there. There's a page I opened yesterday. I don't know. But you put that one was March, then 23rd or so. Then the year access. In which year are you opening that page? So today, if it's today you are opening, the year is 2012. Today is 13th. The month is September. The day is 13th. Then the URL of the site, of the document you are opening, you just go to the browser, you copy, you come and paste. Then okay. So it's cited for your ITU 2010. If you wanted the ITU to come out, you edit, copy, and bring it out. So if you wanted to do conference proceedings, you choose conference proceedings here, and you have all the fields, the title of the document you are citing, the title of the document, the pages, the page numbers, then the year of the publication, the conference publication name. This publication name is the ECIS 2011 Proceedings. So that's what will be here. The city in which the conference was held. Then the publisher in this case is the Association of Information Systems. So you put it there, you click OK, and it's cited. There was one thing with. Okay. So when you finish, the essence of all of this is that we don't want to miss anything we have referenced. So in the end, you just go back to bibliography, and then you choose bibliography or works cited. And you have the bibliography listed for you in alphabetical order. No matter how many you cited, all of them will be listed for you. But there's a difference between bibliography and works cited, or the reference list. Bibliography is that anything that is related to the work that you may want readers to go and read more from is what is put in the bibliography. And then the reference list is a full list of all the things you have cited within your work. So within the bibliography, there may be something in the list that you didn't use as part of your work. But we do not want that over here. We want the reference list. But in Microsoft Word, if you, assuming we didn't want the ITU citation any longer, and we deleted it, it means that we should not see it as part of this place. But if you choose update citation bibliography, you see ITU is still listed there. You see, ITU is still listed there. Even when you choose works cited, the publications you are not using any longer will still be inside, and it's a problem. Word doesn't help you out. But if you go to manage sources over here, manage sources, it will show you over here under current list all the documents you have cited, you have entered into your work. But the ones without the check mark means that you have not cited them any longer. So you can click on it and delete. So that when after you delete it, you go and generate your reference list, they will not be part of it any longer. But the other side is that any document or publication that you add to the reference list are all listed over here and saved into one big database. So you can copy that database. If you go to browse, it shows you this is where all the sources are added. So if you're moving from one computer to another, you could copy this document into the other computer and still be able to cite from there. When you go to manage sources, all the sources will be listed over here on the left. Then you can just click on it and then copy into this list is for the document you are working on right now. And this is the master list for all the sources you have added to Microsoft Word. So if you click on it and you copy to the right, it becomes part of the work, and then you can use a drop down citation to add to within your work. Yes.
Is there any specific location on a computer? For instance, when I move the source list on the machine, is there any specific location where I need to place the source list?
I think so. You need to follow this path. See documents and MIS lab. It depends on this Windows XP. So you need to identify if you are using Windows 7 and you click on manage it will open that folder for you. So you need to identify that and then go and put it there. So it can. But I'm sure that you can also browse, if you're opening source list. If it's on your pen drive, you can still search for it and then it will. So, are there any other questions? I'm done, sir. Yeah, so I talked about adding Harvard style in the beginning. Then I've done there.
It's in 2007.
Yeah.
That's part of it. No.
It doesn't
And
say
then you the pirated version. Or you install.
I retrieved July 2011 from the research website. And this is the URL. If you use Harvard style, it will be available at. This one will be available at. But you do not need to type it. It's a style. It's a styles nuance that it will automatically appear. So you don't need to worry about it. Then for a book chapter. If I wanted to cite a book chapter, we go to insert citation, add new source. Over here, choose book section. It's the same as book chapter. Book section. So the author over here is the author of the chapter. The author of the chapter you are citing. So if Doc had a chapter in Fisher's book, you have to put his name here. So let's say the title of the chapter. All the titles of the chapters have title on the sections. So let's say this part is for the main author, the main book's author. Okay. Sometimes you have editors. You don't have authors written on the book. You have editors. So that's what you put here. So edits. So this one will be Fisher. If there are more than one book authors or editors, you keep adding them. Then the book's main title is writing. The year is 2011, maybe just put in there. Then the pages where that chapter you are citing is. If you look within the book, that chapter will start from somewhere. So let's say this from 20 to 56. The city in which the book was published, that one you find it in the book on there. Sometimes you have ebook. Let me use this one. You have an ebook. An ebook is just an electronic version of the main book, so you can cite the ebook too. Because most often you have the print version of the ebook available. So you can, if you look within the book, see these are the years of publication. You use the most current version of the year. This is the publisher, Pearson Education, and this is the city, New Jersey, in which the book was published. And if there's the edition over there, you can add that one. So the city is New Jersey. Yeah. If there are any other things you want to, but most often the book section and the book part is all you need. Just press them. So you have the citation there. I put as part of the slide that sometimes the author's first name initial appears. It's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so. So you can convert to static text. And then you take it off. But the other part of it is that if you convert anything to static text, Word sees it as an unsighted publication. So if you go to the manage sources, you see that over here it's unchecked. So you need to ensure before you delete that you haven't changed any such thing to static text. You understand? So it's not an all perfect system. So that is a good chapter. Or book section. For book is very, very easy. We've done general, article and periodical is almost the same. Everything. Conference proceeding. Report could be a World Bank report. If it's a World Bank, you choose a corporate author. If it's an individual report. If sometimes within the World Bank report, you may have the individual authors listed. So you have to put the individual authors in there. The title of the report, the year, the publisher, and then the city. So up to sometimes on a website like the ITU website we chose, there may be a report there that's in PDF or Word version. In this case, it becomes document from a website. If you are citing something from the document, not the website, you need to choose document from website. But it's almost the same thing as the fields you need to enter for websites. It's almost the same thing. So you give the particulars over there, you click OK, and that is it. Then the one you was mentioning about numbers. Sometimes you need to use numbers for the citation. If you were going to say that so this is what I was saying. This part is in red. That's when you copy text from somewhere you can. So assuming that you are expected to use numbers or numbering for it. Honestly, I haven't tried it before. But if you had to do that, you have to make sure that after you added a citation, you can choose convert to static text, and then you change it to the number. But you have to keep track of the numbering yourself. Word has footnotes, but you are not expected to use footnotes in academic. So I'll look that up and then we'll do that another time if there is. Word has a certain feature called the caption. But this one, I normally use it for numbering tables and figures. I'm not trying. It's possible to use it to do bibliography. I've not tried it before, so I'll check it out and maybe we'll discuss it another time. So this was the. You said it is already there. The Harvard.
Samsung Galaxy S3. Designed for humans.